What's up, nerds? Welcome to the DNA Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, Brian Anderson, Joey Pease. We have a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
Mostly about what we've been playing.
Yeah,
because
we had 3 major releases, kind of.
Yeah, so, but, I don't know. How's everybody been?
Good.
Yeah.
Can't complain. You might complain a little bit, but I mean, that's kind of...
Yeah, I broke my car. I ran over a log. It was really big.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah. Like, it just came out of nowhere. Like, that curvy hill on Mogador Road.
Yeah, I know.
Go up over the hill.
Yeah.
Right there's like a branch that was like this big around. Cracked my bumper, ripped the undercarriage of my car off. It was intense.
That's not fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be one shiny penny to repair.
Yeah.
All it takes is one shiny penny?
Yeah, one really shiny penny.
Let's go find one.
How shiny does this penny have to be to pay for all that? Blinding.
But anyways, if you didn't know, this is the official podcast of the DNA Network. You can find the audio version of this podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at the DNA Network. Join our awesome community page. And remember, you can find all of our content on digitalnerdadvocates.com. Recently redesigned. Anyways, before we get into what we've been playing, since that's kind of the topic, there's some really big news came out today. Well, rumors and news and stuff like that. We're going to start with the Spider-Man movie gets an official title, Homecoming. Michael Keaton might play the villain.
Who's the villain? Do we
I don't
know? We just know who's playing him.
I don't know, but I like Michael Keaton. I don't know why Batman's in my Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. Hopefully I don't know. I'd like to see a different villain, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know all the Spider-Man villains. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan myself.
I'm not either.
Me neither.
I mean, I'm excited that he's in Civil War. I think that's cool. Like, but I probably will not have any interest in Solo. I mean, I didn't see I didn't see any of the Amazing Spider-Man.
I didn't see the second one.
I saw the first one. Didn't see the second one. The first one was good.
I think I saw the first one on TV. Like, it's on TV now,
Yeah.
and I think I caught it, parts of it, and I was just like, eh.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even really crazy about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. The first one I did enjoy. The first one I thought was really cool.
The thing that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies did is that they made they made a superhero movie kind of like a thing.
Yeah, because
There
it really wasn't that.
There wasn't any superhero movies that were at least well known before that, and
Yeah.
then Spider-Man came out, and
They're the movies that made it mainstream.
yeah, right. That's exactly what they did, and if you go back and watch them now, they're awful.
Yeah.
Especially the first one and the third one. They're both just terrible.
But
The second one's okay.
I didn't mind. Yeah, the second one's probably the best, Doc Ock, but
Yeah.
the third one was atrocious.
I saw that animated GIF today of Kirsten Dunst swinging with the fake Spider-Man. It says, I didn't even realize this was a fake Spider-Man. He's not even real. And it's just like the dummy dressed up as Spider-Man. And
Those movies were so bad.
it's hilarious.
So no, I mean that's cool, I guess, if you're a Spider-Man fan. But
I'm interested to see who Michael Keaton's playing.
Yeah, that would be cool. See which villain he
Yeah.
is.
What? Yeah.
Speaking of Batman, Ben Affleck is going to direct and star in a solo Batman film. Sure. Great.
Okay.
I'm not excited for that either.
I'm not excited for it.
I'm not really excited about anything DC's doing,
No.
especially.
I mean, after they stopped the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, it was
Right.
kind of like I'm not really that excited about any. I mean, Man of Steel was good. I liked Man of Steel, but not to the point where I was super excited about it. So
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Anything. Something I do want to talk about real quick before we get into everything that's happened this week. Zelda Wii U has a bunch of rumors. Well, Nintendo in general.
They always have fucking rumors.
Zelda Wii U is probably going to NX.
Probably.
But you can play as a Link or a female Link, which is interesting. Brian's just like, sure.
Well, I mean, Link has always been like, it's not necessarily the same person. Like in a couple games, it is the same person,
Right.
but it's always just kind of like someone takes that. It's the Triforce of, is it Courage? Is the one that
Yeah.
Link has?
Yeah.
And it's whoever at the time pretty much takes that part of the Triforce is the person who is the Link of that game.
Right.
So it makes sense that it can be a girl character or a guy character. It really doesn't matter who it
Right.
necessarily is.
Right.
So I mean, it works lore wise.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it either way.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it either. Some people were like,
I don't have a
angry.
problem with it, but my Link is a boy.
Some people were like really angry about it.
No, I'm not angry about it, but
Right. I mean,
my Link when I think of Link, he is a male character. It's
Right.
nothing like, Zelda's female. I'm cool with that, you
Yeah.
know.
are they gonna make Zelda a guy then?
So
Zeldor.
Zelda, you know what I mean? Like when I imagine Link,
Zelda.
I imagine him as a boy. So
Yeah.
that's if I were to get that version of it, I would probably make. I don't know though. It would be kind of cool to play as a female Link.
I will probably
It's
play
just not
through
how
it.
I just don't imagine him like that.
Right.
But it's cool that there's an option.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Way to jump on the bandwagon, Nintendo.
I mean, I don't know if I'd call that jumping on the bandwagon, but
Uh,
Nintendo sucks so bad.
well, get ready for this sucky NX lineup. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The rumor.
Yes, please tell me what this is.
The rumor joining Zelda Wii U on NX.
All right. Is that like the release game with it?
I mean, it's rumored that Zelda's going to launch with NX.
All right.
Alongside hits like Mario Maker, Splatoon, and Super Smash Brothers.
So
The Wii U version.
are they going to come out with
of
any
Smash
games
Bros.
of their own?
Are they gonna make a new Smash Brothers? They're gonna have to at some point, don't they? They make a new one for each console.
Yeah, I know, but
Is anybody tired of Smash Brothers?
No.
All right.
This guy.
I don't know who he is over there.
If you can't shoot stuff, it's
Yeah,
not good.
I guess true.
I don't know. I just have such a dislike for Nintendo. Even when they put out good stuff, I find a reason to not like it.
What about Fire Emblem? Did you like Fire Emblem?
It was okay. I still think Fire Emblem Awakening was like better in my opinion.
Yeah, I just beat Birthright.
Yeah, I'm on Conquest, and at this point, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool like playing through different missions and having different like people in your team, but
yeah, I don't know. I just thought like this NX stuff. Like, I was talking with people in our community today about that, and I'm just like, really, Nintendo's gonna launch? They did the same thing with Wii U. They launched a bunch of old 360 games on it.
360.
Yeah, like Darksiders, Mass Effect 3, Batman Arkham
Really?
City. Like a year later.
yeah, I think
These games all came out a year later.
Yeah,
And like, I'm just like, Assassin's Creed 3, which was like 4 months old at the time. I'm like, what are you doing?
yeah, they need to like
That
come out
way.
with new games.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? You launching with New Super Mario Brothers U, which is essentially just a mixed up version of the Wii version. So basically, that's a port. And then you launch with all these old 360 games where nobody cares. Like, are you really going to play Mass Effect 3 on Wii U if you got the whole series on another system?
No,
Are you going to, play Call of Duty on this system when it's already 2 months old on other systems?
If I
absolutely
didn't
not.
have another system, maybe.
Oh my gosh, Julie.
Hey,
That's the. I mean,
Hey,
yeah,
when
that's
I
that
did
makes
not have a
he makes a
360.
point.
I had a Wii for a while, and that's why the first Call of Duty I played was Call of Duty World at War for the Wii. That was the first one I ever played
That's interesting.
that I owned. I played Call of Duty 4 at
Right.
other people's houses, my friend's house, and
I'm so
whatnot.
ashamed to know him right now. That his like first Call of Duty experience of like his own was on
I-
Wii.
Well, and then at that point, when I realized all my friends were playing it on the 360, I got a 360
There you
with
go.
World at
All
War
right.
and played it on there.
And
But
World
it
at War
just-
was awesome.
It was
That
just before that. I just didn't have one, and I didn't.
Was the Wii like your first console system?
Not that I owned. No, I mean it was like it was
Like
just,
the first of that generation.
Yeah, it was the first of that generation that I got was the Wii.
Oh, okay.
I had a PlayStation 2, an Xbox,
And then you went to
Dreamcast,
Wii.
Nintendo
And he's
64.
like, I'm gonna check out this Wii.
I want a bowl.
I didn't want a PlayStation. My brother was getting the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And he still lived out. He was like, we lived in the same house, so
I get it.
I could still play 360 at that point. And then he moved out, and then I was stuck with just the Wii, and then it was like...
I mean, the Wii was cool for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I had
its moments.
I had Metroid Prime 3, I had
But it's
Super
the same
Mario
thing every
Galaxy.
Nintendo
But when
system
your best
has.
game is Wii Sports, you're in trouble.
Yeah, your launch pack-in title is your best game?
Yeah.
That-
Arguably.
That game was sweet,
what was
though.
it? Mad World. The game was black and white, and you just killed a bunch of people with chainsaws and blood.
Yeah, I mean, No More Heroes was cool. And
Yeah, No More Heroes was good.
Both Zelda games were okay.
What was that game that, like...
Metroid Prime 3
What was that one game that like, came out real early on? It was like Red
Red Steel.
Red Steel. How bad was that game?
Dude, that game
It was fun.
sucked.
Oh my god, that game was so bad.
It was bad, but it was fun.
It's like,
No, dude, Red
'cause, like
Steel
you
was
thought,
awful.
like when you thought about it, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like control the gun and the sword and stuff.
Yeah.
No, it was awful.
Yeah,
It was
and like the sword, like the gun
was in
should
your
have been
right
the
hand.
pointer.
It was.
No, it was the sword was in your right hand.
What?
I
The
don't-
sword was the
I mean,
remote.
I didn't play it enough
And the
to
gun was
remember. I
the
played it once.
nunchuck.
It was,
I don't think so.
Was I holding the controller?
Maybe that's why
backwards?
you struggled with
I
it,
think
Corey.
so.
Well, you're a lefty.
Because how else are
so
you supposed
I'm
to aim
sure
the gun? Like, because the nunchuck at least had
Point.
motion sensor in it.
You point.
Yeah, that's
I thought that was the problem with the game. Was like
No, there
the
was
sword should
something
have been
wrong.
the remote, but it was the gun,
No,
and you were
'cause-
aiming with the gun, and then you were slashing with the nunchuck.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
what
only
I'm
way you
saying.
could do it, but it was still
yeah,
awful.
this is the sword and this is the gun.
And it was bad. It was just bad, guys.
Well,
Just,
I'm
just
switching
agree
up my
that it was
controls right
bad.
here.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're a lefty.
You're
so-
lefties,
Yeah, I know.
that's probably why.
That's probably
I
what
know.
it
I
was.
played Twilight Princess backwards too. I'm still mad that Link was right-handed in that stupid game.
I swear there was
It's
an
okay. They
option to
fixed it
switch
on Wii
but-
U.
Perfect. Thank goodness.
The best version of Twilight Princess.
It's
The
sad.
best version of the best Zelda
It's sad
game.
that we're
That's right.
talking about the best version of that game.
The best version of the best Zelda game is on Wii U.
Hey, Majora's Mask is still pretty good. I'm not very far in it, but it's
That's
pretty
true.
good.
Ocarina of Time was the answer to a trivia question on Monday night.
Was it?
Yes.
Nice.
Don't worry, I got it right.
Good job, Brian.
It was pretty easy.
I wouldn't have doubted you for
I
a
know,
second.
I'm just saying. I was very happy that was the question.
It wasn't a nightmare fiasco like the Harry Potter trivia night.
No, we did very good. Harry Potter was awful. There were some freaks out there. Freaks.
Probably the ones watching our show right now.
Okay, before somebody's gonna hate our lives forever.
No, you don't get what I mean by freak. You know, like when we're in the dark zone, I'm like, oh, there's some freaks in here. Like, they're just really good.
Yeah,
Like, they're really good at the knowledge.
Yeah.
They're freaks.
yeah.
Yeah, why? I'm not hating.
I know, but someone might
Take it
interpret that
negatively.
differently.
That's why I just clarified it.
Okay.
You guys.
So
they
you're
were-
positive freaks, not negative.
Yeah, they're positive. I meant that in a complete. You know, like when we get run over in the dark zone, I'm like, gosh, these guys are freaks.
Yeah.
They're just really
The
good.
dark zone's scary. I'm not gonna lie,
There's some
especially when
freak-
you go in by yourself.
there's some
It's
freaks
really
in there.
scary.
There's some.
It's really scary. Anyways, we're gonna move into our topic of the week. Dark Souls for Joey, Destiny for me, The Division for Brian.
Who played Ratchet and Clank?
The ghost
Oh,
sitting
man.
over there. On the end.
Nobody. The
Nobody.
answer is nobody.
Apparently got really good reviews though, so
I know.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
I
Did
did
you
hear
see how
good
good it
reviews.
looks? You see how good it looks?
It looks very good.
I saw someone.
It looks like a freaking Pixar movie.
They used like a disco gun. They like threw a disco, like it shot a disco ball, and like all the monsters just started dancing. And then he ran and just hit them all with a wrench.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's a very underrated game.
Yeah. Did you see the Pixelator?
No,
Where you shoot the gun at an enemy, it literally like turns them into like Minecraft blocks, and then they just disintegrate. It's
That's
hilarious.
Yeah, the guns are very, very awesome.
Ah,
very,
man.
very,
I'm gonna have to
very
check that
unique
out.
game.
yeah.
Well, not now. Since,
Right, we've got too much other stuff to do.
Right. All right. Where do we want to start? We have a lot of questions about a lot of different games. I guess, Joey, we're going to start with Dark Souls.
Yeah, because we didn't really talk about it last week.
Because you weren't here.
Dark Souls.
Someone didn't want to do the podcast last week.
Dark Souls.
Yeah, so we'll start with Joey.
Yeah. How is Dark Souls?
It's awesome. I guess. I mean, it's pretty much everything I wanted in the Dark Souls game when I first saw that they were announced Dark Souls 3, and it was going to be quicker because Dark Souls 1, when I went back and tried to play it, it's too slow for me. I played, like, my first real Souls game that I dived into, or I guess From Software game, was Bloodborne. So I was used to that very fast-paced combat, that very quick. You had to, your reaction time had to be spot on, or else it was, you weren't winning.
Right.
I went back to Dark Souls 1. It was very, you had to block. Like, if you weren't using your shield, you weren't playing the game very effectively. I mean, you could dodge roll, and once you got good enough, you could, but it was a lot harder to time it because everyone is moving slower, I guess.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a middle of the road kind of thing, I guess, where it's like you can still play it the same kind of way as you did the other Dark Souls games, which, I mean, I guess I never actually played 2, so I don't know for sure about that one, but you can use your shield effectively to just block enemies as they're attacking you. I mean, if you block too much, of course you're going to get staggered, and then, they can wail on you, no problem.
Right.
But you can still do the whole entire completely dodge roll things. They actually made it so you can dual wield weapons, or there's actually weapons you pick up that are meant to be just like dual wield by themselves.
Right.
So, I mean, because you can equip one weapon in your left hand, one in your right hand, and they made it so you can, there's a button that kind of switches stance, but when you're using a dual wield, you swing your other sword, and depending on which ones you're using, I guess it works a different way.
Yeah.
I know I haven't really messed around a whole lot with the weapon system because I've been using pretty much sword and shield the whole way through so far. But it's been, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. It plays a lot more like I said, it's a mix between the two. It plays a lot, it's a lot quicker like Bloodborne, but it's still like the Dark Souls kind of aspect of the battle of it. You have your shield, you have all your spells still, you have the pyromancies, you have the miracles, so all that still is in it, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm having a blast so far.
Yeah, I've been watching a couple of videos on it. I really want to play it. And I keep saying, I like the idea of these games. I need the push to get started. Like when we started Bloodborne a couple weeks ago, which I actually wanted to go back and play really bad last night, but I got really tired. But yeah, man, Dark Souls 3 looks awesome, and there's a mana bar now.
Yeah.
So I mean, it looks.
That was one thing I thought was really cool, because now it's not just you have certain many amount of casts depending on what spells you're using. You actually have a mana bar, and you can allocate how you want your flasks to be.
Yeah. When
you talk to the blacksmith at the shrine, you can either have them, turn. Your flasks, you have a certain amount no matter what.
Right.
You start off with, generally it's 3 allocated as regular Estus flasks, and 1 is your Ashen Estus flask, which restores your FP, which is your mana bar in this game.
Right.
But you can switch it so you have only Estus flasks, or you can switch it all the way to the other extreme. And it's just you can go back and forth. So if you're using spells constantly and not necessarily taking as much damage because you're more arranged further away, right, you can switch it to you have way more Ashen Estus flasks and stuff than actual regular Estus flasks. So I thought that was really cool, the way they kind of redesigned that element of the game.
Right.
I don't know. There's just a lot of things they did with it that I think worked really well.
Yeah. We have a few questions, Joey.
Well, the one thing that was really cool that I thought they did was the first boss that you get to, you have to be able to conquer at your starting character. There's no way you can level up. There's no way you can make yourself better. They pretty much make it if you can't do this, you're not going to be able to play the game.
Yeah.
So
I feel it's kind of it kind of reminds me of the first boss in the first game a little bit.
Yeah, kind of.
But this one's a lot harder.
Yeah, but you could still level up at the bonfires in the first game before that first boss. If you got enough souls, you could go back to the bonfire and level up. This one, you can't level up till you get to the Firelink Shrine, and that's after the first boss. So, good luck if you're not,
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a few questions. John asks, "What is your current build?"
My current build. I'm all over the place. I started out as a cleric, so I was using miracles and stuff, but I honestly haven't spec'd too much into faith or any of that kind of aspect of it. I'm primarily focusing on dexterity weapons, I guess. It's kind of how I'm going, but I'm using a sword and shield at the moment. I don't know, there's a lot of weapons I got that are really cool looking and I want to try out, but I don't have enough strength to use them yet, so I'm kind of tempted to go more towards a strength build, but then, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah.
Right now, like I said, it's just more of a dexterity-based sword and board build.
You kind of in that experimental phase.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. My first character, I'll probably eventually get all the stats up to 50, and then from there decide what I want to do and start leveling up.
Right.
Specific ones past that. Because at least in the previous games, there's a soft cap at 25, and then like a hard cap at 50, where every point after 50 gives like diminishing returns on like however like you spend your level points. So once you get to 50, it's kind of like some people stop leveling that at that point, unless you know for sure you're doing like a strength build. Then you won't level anything else up besides like strength, health, and endurance. Which is one thing I did wrong. I was looking at health and thinking it was vitality increased your health. It doesn't. In this game, it's vigor. Vigor is the stat that increases your health. So make sure you're not like me and accidentally putting points in the wrong thing. And
So what does vitality do?
Increases your equipment load. So if you want to use the really heavy armor but not be like
right. So if like
slowed down by
like
it,
fat roll.
Yeah, you don't have to fat roll. You can use the heavy armor, and if you have high enough vitality, you can still decently roll.
Gotcha. Well, Samantha asks, how does it compare to previous Souls games in Bloodborne?
I've kind of already touched on this, but I'll just reiterate. It's quicker than the previous Souls games that I've played. So Dark Souls 1, and what I've seen from Dark Souls 2, it's a lot quicker than that. It's slower than Bloodborne, though. Bloodborne was really quick, really fast-paced. No matter what, in Bloodborne, no matter what armor you're wearing, you're always jumping around, rolling, no matter what. So it's not like, you can be heavier armored and, like, kind of run around, and you have a giant shield, so that slows you down, too. But,
right.
So it's slower than Bloodborne, quicker than the other Dark Souls games, and Demon Souls from what I remember seeing. But it's like a nice mix between the two. It works very well.
Yeah. That's what I kind of like about this game is it's like a little bit faster than like because like I played probably 15 hours of Dark Souls 1. And it was like really slow.
It was very slow. We were talking about that when I got here.
Yeah.
I loved the roll though when you just like
Yeah.
fell.
That's still kind of
the best.
If you're up above, I think it's like
so
75% of equipment load. Your guy literally like
it just falls down.
It was like a dog rolling over.
Yep.
You just like
exactly what
you just like fall down and just roll across your back and then get up.
I hope they don't hit me while I'm doing this.
Yeah. Those stupid rats in the underground under the bridge where the dragon is.
There's rats. There's definitely rats in this game, and there's a poison place I already went through. It's just a swamp filled with poison, and there was the stupid basilisks from the first game that curse you, and
a lot of
so all your favorite enemies are still there, Yeah,
a lot of
great ones.
Like a lot of people are saying like this harkens too much back to the first game, which like a lot of people love that first game.
They probably want something new though.
Yeah, but then like they changed it up in Dark Souls 2. And they're like, I want more Dark Souls 1, so they gave him more Dark Souls 1. And
you can't make everybody
I
happy.
honestly think what they did is probably the best way to do it. It is very Dark Souls 1-esque, like the environment you're going through is like, it reminds me a lot of what I played in Dark Souls 1, but then the combat and the whole item system and everything is similar, but it's still different enough to where it's, something you got to learn newer, and, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. And you have 4 ring slots now, which I think in Dark Souls 1 you only had 2, from what I remember. So that's really nice because now I don't know. I found a ring that was like increase your attack and reduce your equipment load. I'm like, well, I'm never taking that ring off.
Right. Right.
So
Chase asks, what are your favorite bosses so far?
I'm probably not even halfway through the game yet, and so there's probably still a lot of bosses, and I'll probably get to some that I find way more interesting than the ones I've fought so far. But as of now, my favorite is the Abyss Watchers.
They sound scary.
They weren't necessarily as scary as I was expecting, because in Dark Souls games where you walk into a boss room and the boss looks the same size as you, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But so I walked in the room, and the cutscene starts, and it's these 2 knights that are both like wearing the same armor, using the same weapons, fighting each other, and then the one stabs the other one and then like turns to you like it's ready to fight you.
Yeah.
So okay, you're going to fight this guy. So as you're in the middle of fighting him, other knights just start like getting up off the ground. Like, so I guess what we're trying to imply is that these people were in this endless this battle that was just going to go on for eternity until someone came along and stopped it. Yeah. So it's pretty much just, as you're fighting the one guy, another knight will appear and he'll start trying to fight either you or the main, like the boss. So realistically, what you can do is you can back off, and if they can get them to aggro each other, they'll fight each other until one of them dies, and then it's, fight. Usually, it's the boss will win out because he's stronger than the other ones. But the one time it actually, because I think I died probably 4 or 5 times before I finally beat the boss. But like the one time, one of the lower level enemies took out the boss, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But after you beat him, then it does another cutscene, and you can see like the essence from all the other knights goes into the one main one, and then of course his sword bursts into flames, and he's coming at you with giant fire attacks, swinging around this giant sword, doing spinning flame attacks, and
right.
It was a pretty epic fight, and it was really fun, and the music for the fight was awesome, and that's one thing they do really well is that they have like unique soundtracks for each boss in that game, and they all fit like to a T for the fight. I feel, at least so far that I've seen. So I don't know. So far, it's a lot of fun. I think I've fought maybe like 5 bosses so far. One of them was a giant tree with these weird little like sacks all over it. They're like white things, and you have to. The one was literally hanging.
I think that was just a dream, Joe. Yeah,
the one was literally hanging between his legs. Like.
Yep, that sounds like I'm pretty sure that's a dream. I don't know.
Okay,
I think
it was an interesting fight.
I think you've been doing too much toast to beer with him, and he's dreaming about trees with sacks.
Because you literally hit it, it explodes, and then he gets angry.
Yeah, I'd be pissed too.
It stands up and like butt slams the ground disappears, and you fall through, and then there's a giant hand comes out of his stomach. It does not sound
like a fight in this game. Just, like the night one, that sounded legit. That sounded cool. Then he goes to the tree with the balls that he slices open.
I'm gonna find a picture.
I think somebody. I think that's your imagination right there.
Oh boy. Well, I know a lot of people in our community are excited about Dark Souls, so I am. I want to play this game really bad.
Look forward to the tree with the balls.
Yeah, about that.
Oh God, it is a thing.
It is a thing. That is a tree with ball sacks.
I see it.
That is a tree with ball sacks.
Joe Scotty, make sure I didn't make this up. I did see that, right?
Yeah. We.
It's there.
It's there.
I believe you now. All right.
And eventually, a giant white hand comes out of his stomach and starts swinging at you and picking you up and stuff. So
it's a weird fight.
Yeah.
That one wasn't your favorite?
No. No, it was a pain in the ass.
I actually bet it was.
Well, we're gonna move away from Dark Souls.
Unfortunately,
I think that's enough.
And we're gonna talk a little bit about this Destiny update real quick before we get into the Divisions update. I played through most of it. Joe, you played a little bit of it.
I did the Prison of Elders level 41, and I did the quest line up to the point where you get the Taken Sword.
Yeah.
So I did probably about half of the content they actually added. So
yeah,
how long did that take you to do about half the content?
About 3 hours.
About 3 hours.
Yeah, and the Prison of Elders stuff took, like, if you do the part of the quest line is the 41 Prison of Elders, which is the matchmaking one. That took about, I don't know, like half hour, and then the Challenge of the Elders took probably an hour, maybe. It's a lot easier than Skolas. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
New Strike's pretty fun. Yeah,
that new Strike is actually really, really fun. The Archon Priest one too.
I didn't do that one yet.
I didn't do it either, but it's Archon Priest. It's not like...
It's Archon Priest with taken enemies.
Yeah.
The taken Archon Priest.
The one guy had the weird blob thing on his head.
Yeah, that was weird.
It exploded.
Yeah, it was like... He looked like Darkblade with like...
Blob head.
The brain was just like getting ready to rupture.
Is this the new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you go from the Fogoth pit all the way up into the.
You start in the Fogoth pit.
Yeah. Yeah, to the chamber where what is it? The Chamber of Oryx or whatever. You know that you go down into the moon pits, and then there's like all this like tubing and wiring going in, and then there's this big circle where the tunnels are.
Where the thing in the middle was, the big orb in the middle.
Oh yeah.
That's how the strike goes. Dude, we opened that door because I'm playing with Mitch from work.
Yeah.
And like we opened that door and all these there's probably like 40 thrall just slamming through this door. So he threw his flame grenade and I threw my sticky grenade from Defender class, and like just killed all of them. It's pretty awesome. It's awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
I'm sure.
Don't act like you don't like Destiny.
I have no interest in playing it.
It's because you spent 1,800 hours in it already.
I mean, I don't know how. That seems like a lot. I don't know how many I put into it, but no, I don't want to play it.
It's good. You're missing out. You're missing out.
On what? What am I missing out on?
A strike. Take an armor. And then there's the armor now that you can like glow.
There's a lot of cool new weapons. Like all the Queen stuff is really cool. The scout rifle is awesome.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, the scout rifle is awesome. The sniper rifle is really cool too. I don't know like the perks on the sniper
Where
rifle.
do you get them from? Is it doing the
challenge.
Are these exotics?
No, they're legendary. There are exotics though. PlayStation exclusive exotics.
Right. Aren't you not playing it on the PlayStation though?
Yeah, I've been playing on Xbox. Nobody's playing on PlayStation anymore.
It's because I've been playing the Division.
Yeah.
They might not be here soon after this update.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Some people might switch back.
I mean, I am.
Or
I think
they'll all just buy Dark Souls.
It's possible.
Yeah. Who knows? They might buy a Wii U.
No.
Play some
Nobody's buying a Wii U.
Twilight Princess HD.
The only way I think I'll ever buy a Wii system is if they release a Monster Hunter game for a Wii
They
system.
did.
I mean, like 3. That was a while ago.
I need one that's worth buying.
I'm just
Like,
telling you they did.
I'm just saying,
They
like
did.
a new one. I didn't get into Monster Hunter until 4U, and then that was only for the 3DS. And
Yeah,
then
I
now
got into it
Generations
then.
is-
That game is so good.
I got
But
into it again recently because one of my people from my old raid group wanted me to play with them. And
That game is so fun. That game's just a lot of fun.
it's like back to the Destiny update. It's a lot easier to grind. Like it's a lot easier to level up.
and get at
That's because
gear
you've been
above.
playing the Division. That's a pain in the ass.
Well, no,
to
they
level
made you
up.
can
No,
get
it's
blue
1-to-1
engrams.
infusion. All
Yeah,
blue
you
engrams
talked about
drop
that.
up to like 315 now.
Yeah, I've gotten a 307 like
And,
just
like,
helm. Just a blue engram that dropped.
Yeah, and everything now in Prison of Elders and the raid drops like at like a 90% chance it's higher than what you already got.
They purposely
And the Court
made
of-
it like it's easier to get gear
Yeah.
higher than what you are now.
And the Court of Oryx is like there's a lot of changes to the Court of Oryx too. And the strikes, and there's a couple other missions that we haven't even unlocked yet because you got to be a certain level at the prison, the barracks green thing. I don't know what that is. The House of
Wolves.
whatever.
No, not wolves.
So, I don't know. I liked it. I really enjoyed the content I played yesterday, but
I mean, I had fun, but I don't think it's going to keep me around for a while. Like,
I mean,
kinda
it's
just
not.
like
It's not going to keep me around till September when
Right.
the fall expansion comes out. But like,
it's
got
enough
me
to get me interested again for at least another month.
Yeah, it's got me hooked for now. Brad's like, if it has Prison of Elders in it, I'm not playing it.
I hated Prison of Elders. I don't.
It's because of the whole Skolas thing.
No, I never liked it. I never really cared for it.
I kind of wish the level 41 one was a little different than what like the old Prison of Elders was. It's literally the same thing, just higher level.
Yeah, yeah. The challenge is all bosses though. It's like all
That'll
boss
be
waves.
interesting, but it's just like
I am going to admit though, like the challenge is it says recommended light 320. You could probably roll in there with like 305s, 310s and be perfectly fine.
it depends on who you're playing with.
Yeah.
I mean, well, if you're playing with him, then yeah, he's fine at probably 290.
Well, I played with people last night that were under. I went in at 299 on challenge mode, and I played with two people under 320, and I was fine. Like Mitch was 309 and
What were like the levels of the enemies?
42.
It's like hard mode raid, right?
The bosses were recommended light level 330, but the last boss, not the first two.
Did you get to the last boss?
Yeah, we beat it.
And it's recommended 330, and you guys were like 309, and you beat it.
Yeah,
Their scale is off.
I know. I think they missed something a little bit because it seemed a little too easy, and I didn't.
Yeah, like if it's recommended 330, like you should be like if you're in the 320s, you should be okay.
Yeah.
But if you're anything lower than that, you should be like having a very hard time.
The first time we ran it, I was under 300.
Yeah, see, the scale is off there.
Yeah. But my friend that was
unless they're trying to cater to the more casual group
They
of
could
players.
be. They could be.
Because it's not the raid.
Right.
yeah.
So the raid is more towards the hardcore players, and
Right.
that'll be
Right. Plus, I think they're trying to give people something to do that don't have 6 friends.
right.
Too.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And like, yeah, it is really easy though. The challenge, but like I got 2 weapons and a piece of gear, and I ran it twice.
So you just
So.
so what is there to do now? Are you just gonna keep running it?
Well, I'm gonna run the raids. I'm gonna try to get my character up to 335.
Right. I guess that's
Because
it's
the
kinda
raid
thing,
drops, they increase the raid drops to 320 in normal mode, 310 to 320, and then in hard mode it's up to 330.
Right.
And then the challenge is 335.
That's cool.
And then Court of Oryx drops stuff up to 335. And
Yeah.
Prison of Elders drops up. So like, and the strike rewards are just as high as the Nightfall almost now. So like, there's really no reason to do the Nightfall unless you're like hunting for strange coins.
Right.
Which I realized I've got like 40 some strange coins.
I know. I have 58 strange coins.
I'm ready for Zer to give me something good.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen though because I already have pretty much everything.
Yeah. I don't have anything on my Xbox character.
I know. So I mean, that's like pretty cool for you to like redo it now. Like every time Zer's coming in, you'll be excited.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm hooked on Destiny again, because I
That
started from the beginning.
probably is
Because I
it.
started from the beginning, and like I had friends that were playing on Xbox,
And they're
and kind
probably
of
excited to play it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that because like my cousin Michael's never played Destiny with anybody,
Right.
and he just got Xbox One, and Mitch from work never played with
Yeah.
anybody, so like
That's cool, man.
kind of like they're helping me level up while I'm showing them all these different aspects of the game is pretty cool too. So I don't know, maybe that's why I'm enjoying it again, but I like it. I like the update. Little easy. I'm interested to see what other quests they have besides the Taken Sword quest line.
That sword looks sweet though.
It is
It's
sweet.
pretty good.
It is.
I
pretty
saw-
What you get
yeah,
from the
so-
quest is 320 already, so I mean
I
it's
saw a picture of it. Looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's my highest light level weapon. I did get Black Spindle today.
you
though.
didn't have another 320 heavy?
Mm-mm.
Oh, we did.
On Xbox.
On Xbox. I was gonna say, I was like, how many times
I
we
was like,
run
we did
those
the challenge
damn
raid
challenge
like
raids?
at least twice, where you should have gotten a heavy.
No, my PlayStation character is over 320 already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did everything there was to do
Yeah.
on the PlayStation. And I think that's why I'm just like,
Plus, I'm running my first trials this weekend, so I'm pretty excited because we have 3 players now.
that's cool.
Well, actually, I found a whole group of Xbox players that invited us in to raid and do stuff with them. So,
That's cool. That is cool.
like,
Trials is fun.
but I want to keep my PlayStation characters up too for when you guys all decide to come back.
Well, when Brian decides to come back, it'll be when they change something drastically, and
Yeah.
that'll be a
Like the
point to
fall,
where-
I'm
like
gonna
the
need.
fall
I'm
update
gonna need
with the-
something big. I don't
and that'll
know.
be the
raid.
point where they'll increase the light level again. So
Or
it'll be
this, I don't
easy to
know,
just
because
go
we're
up
about to talk
from
about the division here. I don't know if they gave me what I wanted, so I don't know what I'm going to be playing here. To be honest with you,
Call of Duty.
I don't know. Like Call of Duty is such a like I had there was such a nothing to play there for a while. Like Destiny, we were done with. I was waiting for the division to come out, so I just play, and that's why I think we've talked about before how I wish Call of Duty just sold like the online for like $30 or something
Right.
like that. But so I was just playing that to like pass the time.
Yeah.
And now, like, I don't know. I'm not happy with anything.
All right. Yeah, I got on the PlayStation app earlier, and you were playing Far Cry 4.
That's right. That is right. You saw that correctly.
I did. But we talked about Destiny, talked about Dark Souls. We're going to talk about the Division. And before we get into this update, especially the last like couple days, I've been really disappointed in this game. Like, I got on the other day, there are no dailies.
Yeah, that was Friday.
Got on today, there's no challenge mode.
Yeah, they got rid of challenge mode or something. But you can still run like the challenge missions.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that.
But I mean, it's the same thing. The advantage to running challenge mode was you got 20 more Phoenix credits, and they like have given you so many different ways to get Phoenix credits now that. So you can still run, but there's no point in having a challenge mode, and this is why. Because like, the point of running challenge mode was to beat it. You got the 50 Phoenix credits, because you get 30 just for beating a challenge, and then you get the 20 for it being a daily, right? And then you
Right.
get the gold high end gear, which was always a piece of shit.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the whole point of it. But now they have the incursion, which is basically taking. Of course, then again, the incursion you only run that once a week, I guess, and get rewards.
Is that account based or is that like character based?
Like if you have multiple characters, it's same with Destiny, right. Like with the raid. Like you can run it if you have multiple characters. So I do have that second character, so that's good, I guess.
Yeah, but how many other people have second characters?
Well, I guess I'll have to matchmake. I haven't run the incursion yet, which is unfortunate. You know, it's unfortunate that we do this show on a Wednesday, and I work Tuesday nights, and everything, you know, always gets released on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we come in and do this show, and like, yeah, I'd like to sit here and talk about the incursion, mostly, because that's basically what they gave us, and I really can't, because, you know, we run them Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So I actually, for the first time, I usually don't like to look at stuff until I've done it, but I looked and it seems like people are very disappointed.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting.
My brother watched a video of it. See, I don't like to do it. Like, you know, when raids came out, I didn't watch stuff. I like to just do them. And that's how I wanted to do the incursion. But since we're doing the show, like, my brother watched the video and was telling me about it and stuff. And he said it looked very easy.
Yeah.
At least the hard mode. He didn't watch on the challenge.
Right.
You have to be hard first.
Right. And like that's the thing. Like I watched a little bit of it today, and I was reading some, because like we're in the Riser Alliance group, and like they are all talking about stuff today, and I'm just like, I feel like everybody's just disappointed. Like I feel like people expected the Division to be some big, sprawling experience the way that Destiny is now. Like, and then when we go back to vanilla Destiny, like,
what's the thing?
It's the same issue
Well,
almost.
part of the problem too is I think people were expecting, and even partly me, I guess, that this incursion was going to be on par with a raid.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to understand that, like in Destiny, there's so many different like things you can do.
Yeah.
Like jump.
You can jump.
You don't realize how much like something like that can affect the game.
Right.
You know, this is a cover-based shooter. Your feet really don't leave the ground.
Right.
So there's some, you know, the only way to get up, you have to climb, you know. And, I mean, like, it's just the mechanics of the game limits you in a situation like this. Like, if Destiny never happened, if that game didn't exist and this incursion came out, I think people would really like it. Because it's basically just a harder mission, which is, you know, in Destiny, a raid was just, I mean, I can't really compare it to a Nightfall because it was so different.
Right.
But it was just like a much harder Nightfall. But the Nightfall gave you more than probably the incursion did anyways.
Right. Right. I don't know. I kind of feel like this game was...
If it's just a bullet sponge boss, though, I feel like they did it wrong. You could have made a boss... I don't know.
It's like the APC, isn't it? Isn't it like the... Like I said, I haven't watched anything on it.
I don't know much about it, but that's just kind of seems like the direction they take most of their bosses in the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's like little things in it, like, you know, like some of the missions have like, press this button or turn this thing, but that's like
the main boss in the entire game, like in the regular campaign, was a helicopter.
Yeah.
That was the main boss. Like, how crappy is that? Like,
yeah.
And then all the other characters,
yeah, like
they all have the same.
I feel like sticking with the more realistic tone. They really back themselves into a corner. And
I know this is the first game where I'm like, oh, they need like zombies or something.
Yeah.
I thought I'd never call for zombies because holy shit.
I mean, you watch. That's gonna be like the next step next year. Is like zombies. Like
they needed something else enemy wise because all the enemies are like the same.
Yeah.
They all look the same.
Yeah.
And they all do the same except for like the cleaners have flamethrowers.
Yeah, I was talking to I forget who I was talking to, but we were talking about the enemies in the Division, and it's just like I'm really tired of shooting thugs in hoodies and guys with flamethrowers. Like
that's what it is.
There's only so many
over and over.
Yeah,
and over again.
How many thugs with hoodies are there in this city? Like,
I don't know. Why are so many of them still running around with baseball bats and golf clubs when like clearly everyone else has fucking guns?
Yeah,
like, you should pick one up.
At least add some barbed wire to that bat.
Yeah, for real. No, I don't know. So I would like to talk about the incursion. Of course, I really can't.
Right.
And obviously next week we'll be able to.
Yeah.
We're
Plus, I think next week's like weekly strike and stuff will be all about this incursion.
Yeah, but like I said, I did get on for a very short period of time after work. This is the one time having my schedule does not help me.
Mm-hmm.
Is when these new things come out, and so I got on after work and just wanted to check out everything that was new. The crafting stuff, it's kind of cool. Like I said, they took out the division tech on a lot. Like I had blueprints already because I was level 50. So like my MP5 blueprint that I got from the Dark Zone, you have to be level 50 to get it. Which now they changed all that. But before I needed 3 division tech to craft one. Now that they don't have that anymore. So I just need weapon parts and tools, I think. To craft. So I can like keep re-rolling those. I like that they took the Phoenix credits.
Yeah, but the trade-off with tools and stuff takes more.
Yeah, and this is what I'm going to talk about the next thing. The one thing I was like really excited about, and I think we actually found this out after our show last week, was that all named enemies are going to drop high-end gear, right?
Yeah.
On paper, that sounds pretty good, right?
It's all worse than what stuff I already have, and I haven't even played it.
The problem is now that everything has a gear rating, so like some of the higher stuff I saw around like 204. Like I have something that's like a 204. I think that was like the best item. I haven't done, like I said, I haven't done the incursion yet. My gear rating was 176 coming in. Like right when I logged in, I was 176.
Yeah.
Like the highest thing I have is like a 204, and then like I see like a lot of 182s, 162s. I think that's kind of how they go. At least the ones that I have. Everything that dropped, I was just dismantling.
Right.
So it's almost like they did that to give you the crafting materials,
right?
To make up for the change in like currencies,
right?
Because everything was shit. So that's just
it's
pointless.
Basically a wash.
It's basically a wash. Like I was really excited. That's probably what I was most excited for. Was yes, everyone's gonna drop high end gear. Finally, that's awesome. Yeah. But everything sucks.
Right.
It sucks.
Did you get any of the teal stuff yet?
Like I said, I haven't done the incursion yet. I did see that they sell blueprints for them now in the.
Tried to argue with me that it was green over text message.
Yeah, because last week I said on show, called it. I said this game is copying Diablo so bad that I guarantee you that the set pieces will be green.
They're teal.
And he's like, well, they can't be green. They already have green. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. But what? That's as damn close as you can get to green.
They're copying Borderlands then. That was Borderlands, wasn't it?
Borderlands didn't have set.
No, but their hierarchy of colors was.
Theirs was gray, green, blue, purple, yellow, and then like an orange.
And then the pearlescent weapons. They added those in the later ones. Did you ever play? They were like.
I must have stopped playing them.
Yeah, they were like a tealish color.
Were they
I only
teal?
ever got one shield. Yeah.
Huh. Well.
Speaking of Borderlands, what if Borderlands is the next game that does this? Shared world. Like RPG,
I think it would be very
stuff.
Successful in Borderlands.
I mean, that's really what they're getting at anyway.
Isn't that kind of
almost?
Well, if they're gonna do the Division approach, it's already pretty much like that. Because you go into the world and the only person there is you and whoever's in your party.
Right. I mean, I bet it will take more of the Destiny.
Approach.
Let's go back to before we start talking about other games and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I could talk about Borderlands all night long. So yeah, we were talking. Yeah, so like, no, I don't have any of the set pieces yet, but that's pretty much the only incentive to play the game.
Do they give you like a set bonus then? Like,
yeah, it's the same thing as Diablo. You wear 2 pieces, you get this. You wear 4, you get this. You wear all 6, you get a very good bonus, which is kind of. I mean, we didn't guess the bonuses correctly, but we were
right. We were
close, and because I said, this is Diablo.
Right.
This game is more like Diablo than it is anything I've ever.
This game should have been built that way instead of like Destiny. It should have been more like.
They didn't build it that way. We did. Everyone else did.
Built it
we
like
didn't.
Destiny.
They didn't. I mean, we kind of did.
I mean, like that's the impression everybody like the. I'm not saying Ubisoft did. I'm saying like the media, the internet, our friends.
I thought it was a shoot and loot. Like I didn't.
It's a shoot and loot.
I didn't necessarily think it was going to be like Destiny.
I kind of built it as like
the only other shoot and loot that we were really playing or that had been out is Destiny.
Yeah.
So you're gonna compare them. Should they have been compared? No, clearly not.
Clearly
the
not.
issue that it was.
That's why
and then when
everybody's
people
so
started
disappointed.
playing it, they were pissed because it wasn't what we and everyone else built it up to be. They never claimed once that it was like Destiny,
right?
Or that it was going to be like Destiny.
Right. I kind of feel like, yeah. I mean, like I kind of feel like the way the media interpreted it made it out that way, but I kind of feel like this is more open world Gears of War with Diablo aspects.
I would say it's more like that.
That's.
But even if you told me that before I came out, I would have been just as excited.
Yeah.
Third-person realistic Borderlands.
It's sort of. I don't want to hate them. I mean, Borderlands is like one of my top 10, and this Division is not in there. The Dark Zone's a letdown. I still feel like if they had PvP, this game would be fantastic.
Yeah, I would be playing
like
PvP
straight
all the time.
PvP, not
They
this
should.
Dark Zone.
They really should.
They're really
and
missing
I
it.
understand they say it's hard to balance the game or like the guns. Just
I mean, you know how many guns Destiny has?
yeah, it's every single game that has some type of.
You know how many
PvP
guns Call of
aspect
Duty
with this,
has?
Like, yeah, it's
Doesn't like
they're not
I don't
balanced.
play. Did you play World of Warcraft?
I did for a little while.
Okay, don't they have similar PvP like that the Dark Zone has? Right? Is it similar? Do they have a straight PvP thing in there?
They have straight PvP games, and then they have areas you can go to that are just because there's the Alliance and the Horde.
Right.
If you're an Alliance character, you run in a Horde character can kill you wherever. Like you don't even need to necessarily. Well, depending on the zone you're in. If you're in the PvP zone,
so
they
it's
can.
basically the same thing as
it's the same kind of thing.
Dark Zone,
Yeah.
but they have like modes that are straight PvP.
Yes, they do. They have battlegrounds where it's a big like arena with I forget how many people on the team, but it's more like an 8v8 kind of thing. They have like the 2v2. They have a 3v3 game type. I think. Like, I never got into the PvP, so I'm not positive.
Because I was gonna say
This
like,
is just kinda-
how was the
but
balancing in that?
Uh,
None, right?
I mean, they balance the classes, like they tweak things here or there. But even then, they sometimes tweak things PvP wise that they don't necessarily change PvE wise. So like they'll tweak skills so they'll only stun someone for like so many seconds in PvP, whereas out of that it stuns them for stuns a regular enemy
Right.
for like 15 seconds instead of just 2. So I mean, you can do little things to tweak things here or there. You let it go, see something's overpowered, you tweak the overpowered thing to either keep it in line or you bring everything else up. Like it's something you have to work at. It's not something they can just go, okay, everything's balanced, go. Like
Yeah, they definitely need.
I
mean,
think it's
like
just they don't want
they already have
they don't
like
want to work
I
at
feel
it.
like
the Dark Zone.
I would
is-
be playing this game so much if there was a PvP.
And like people keep talking about the balancing issues. Like the Dark Zone is already like, because right now you and me can't play in the Dark Zone together.
Right.
Okay. So like, why don't they just do the PvP like the same way? Like, all right, if you're 160 to above or whatever, those guys play against each other.
Section it off. Like
Section it off just like the Dark Zone.
The thing I think is the problem is because all the guns are pretty randomized. Like you can change them based on what mods you get and what kind of like other things you have. So it makes it harder to necessarily balance everything out evenly, which I don't think they necessarily need to. The people with the better gear should be able to do a little bit better, but skill should still outbeat gear hands down no matter what. So
Right.
It doesn't in this game.
no.
that's maybe if they do a PvP thing, make it so you can't use your actual guns and weapons from
Or almost
the
do
game.
it the way
I don't
that
know.
Destiny's Crucible does. Is like
Everything gets
balance
balanced out,
balance
kind of.
like balance your weapon types against other weapon types, but don't necessarily use the stats the way that Destiny does.
Yeah, but then you
Now
have all those
they're-
mods.
Yeah, that's the mods make it kind of difficult.
I think it's
Well,
the
then-
mods that make it difficult.
Then delete the perks from the mods in PvP. Or like have
Or
like
they
a
could do
standard.
or do what WoW does and just give PvP gear. The PvP gear is better than all
I don't know.
PvE gear.
I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they clearly need it.
Yeah, but I mean, they're kind of saying they're not going to, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean they haven't.
I don't know what they're doing.
They have like all these like paid for updates and free updates that are coming. Like every single one, there's no mention of a proper PvP, and that's honestly that's what's killing this game. There's
I don't
not a lot
think
to
that's
do.
it, but
I think that's part of the problem.
it is. It's a huge part of the problem.
So
Because the Dark Zone, I mean, we've talked about. I don't know how many times it. I mean, like you go in there, it's not jam packed with people.
yeah,
I don't know if the servers are doing it that way, but like it's never jam packed.
Yeah.
With people.
well I
I've
think
noticed.
I think there can only be like 24 people on
on a server.
in a server at the same time.
Maybe I rarely see like I don't know. I mean, the Dark Zone's pretty big, but most people are running in the same zones, like I said.
Yeah,
So, and I'm personally just not seeing like that many. I wish more people could be in it.
yeah.
I did do some Dark Zone, like I said. That's like one of the first things I did. So when I got home, I went in by myself, so I didn't want to stay in there long. I did not see a supply drop when I was in there.
Yeah.
I did my normal run. I didn't see a lot of the NPCs that I normally saw, the named ones. So
Yeah.
either someone was running the same run I was, or they changed that with all the high-end drops now or whatever. But
Yeah.
I didn't see, So I don't know if they changed that, but I
Yeah.
guess I'm gonna run the incursion tonight. It's not getting a lot of love right now, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
Let me ask you something. Something we talked about a couple weeks ago, maybe like a week ago. You said you were playing this game, but you weren't sure if you were having fun.
Yeah, I said that. Those are my exact words. Yeah, I keep playing it, but I don't know if I'm enjoying myself. Like,
Has that changed at all?
No. Like when I go to log out, I'm like, I can't tell if I had fun when I was playing.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. That's like a weird feeling for me. Like I don't know if I've ever experienced that before.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm just like, I know, like, I like the mechanics of this game, but am I having fun doing the things they're giving me to do with these mechanics?
Yeah, like it's such an odd feeling that I get when I log out, and I think like the way I said it, just like I can't tell if I'm enjoying myself, and that's like weird.
I know. I mean, I feel like I'm almost obligated to be playing this game because of this show and like Weekly Strike and stuff.
No, I'm playing it for more than that. Like part of me is enjoying it, I think. Like the other night, me, my brother, and Patrick played, and we were just like running the Dark Zone, and that was pretty fun. That's probably the most fun that we've had in the game, the three of us together. Like, but when we're outside doing, like I said, I need to see what this incursion is like.
Yeah.
I need to get these gear sets. I need to see how that changes the game.
Yeah. What does this game need to do to change to keep you interested longer than like a couple more months?
Well, I mean, the obvious choice for me would be the PvP. You know how much I like.
Besides PvP,
the PvP,
since we talked about it so much.
I mean, again, I haven't done the. I need to see the incursion, and then I need to build off that. Like, if it's not, and it sounds like it's not enough, but really, what more can they do? But then add, all that they do is like, all right, we're gonna do a more difficult mission. You're not really gonna do a lot of different stuff in the mission, but like the guys are all gonna be elites instead of just purples. That's like what hard mode. It's like the easy level, they're all reds, right? With like one or a couple purples and a couple elites. Then you play the hard mode, all purples with a couple elites. Then you play challenge, all elites.
Yeah.
So like the incursion, are they just all like leveled? Like, are they level 32s then, which is like the challenge mode? So then if you do the challenge mode, like what is that then? They're like 33s.
They might be. What if hard mode isn't hard? Like, what if it's just like...
I don't think it's going... I mean,
because like
what I hear,
when you run hard mode of the mission, now that we're 30, like those are super easy. Now that we're 30. So like, what if it's like that, and then like challenge mode is just like a longer challenge mission, except you can't die. Like that's like the only challenge.
I mean,
because like when we ran challenge mode last week, like when I was playing with you guys, like it wasn't too difficult.
No, and that was what, the power plant?
Yeah.
No. They're none of them are that hard. You just got to play smart. Like Destiny was different cuz like even if you had an amazing team, like there was so much going on,
right,
that like you could easily mess it up. You know what I mean? Like
right.
In this, like there's all that they can do is they send another wave of enemies.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have added like some type of strategy or something besides just making
it's not as much it's not as much strategy as like I thought it was going to be, and that's what makes me upset. I think is that it's just bullet sponges.
Yeah,
it's like just all right, use different powers. We're all just going to line up here,
make it so you have to like lure the big boss into an area to
drop a crate on his head or
something to like weaken him so you can actually damage him. Like if you're in some type of chemical plant, have some chemicals moving around. It has to be over, like you have to get him to a certain area a certain way to drop some chemicals on him and he bursts into flames.
Kind of like the Berserker in Gears of War. Like I know this is a really simple example, but in the first Gears of War, when you first encounter the Berserker, you had to lead it through that church and out into the courtyard to use the Hammer of Dawn on it.
Yeah.
Like
it's like just do things like that. Like it would be more entertaining. It wouldn't just be a bullet sponge where you just dodge behind cover, fire at him until he gets close to you, dodge behind cover again somewhere else, shoot at him. Like
yeah.
No.
I don't know. Do you have anything else to say about this? I'm not going to read the questions since we haven't done the incursion yet.
No, you can do all but the incursion one.
All right. Codfan FF asks, what weapons are you rolling with? What's your build?
So like right now I'm rolling with, I got a very good roll on my Vector, so I'm sticking with that. I think I got it where like I get more critical hit damage as one of my talents. My critical hits heal me. I can't remember what the last one is, unfortunately. But I ended up getting a good roll on that, so I've been using that. You know, the biggest issue with the Vector is just the clip size. But like,
Right.
if it was like a 60 clip gun, it would be way too hard. So it makes
Can't
sense.
you fix that though with an extended mag?
It only takes up to 38. Like, it's a 20 clip gun, so even if you got an extended mag, like most of the high ends give you like 90-some%.
Right.
So like even if it was 100%, it would only go up to 40.
Right.
Which you go through it pretty quick. So that's
I wonder
why
if there's going to give you. I wonder if there's going to be new mods that'll change that. Do you
I
think
don't know.
there's going to be
No.
anything over 100%
no.
in terms of clip size?
I don't think they should either, because the Vector. I mean, I use it, but so does a lot of other people in the dark
Right.
zone. And if that thing fired more bullets, it would no.
Yeah, we were talking to Brian online the other night, our friend that used to work with us, and he was like, he was like looking for the Vector. He was going in to buy the blueprint for the Vector because like that seems to be the gun.
Yeah. Now there is a competing gun, the Navy MP5. Now I have the blueprint for it. You buy it from, I don't know if this changed with the update, but you bought it from the Dark Zone 6 safe house, the church. You had to be level 50. Now I think you don't have to be level 40 to get it.
Right.
And that gun competes because it shoots faster. Its damage per bullet is less, but not by a lot. And it has 30 bullets in the clip, so you can get
Right.
that. Or I think it even has more. You can get it up into the 60s.
Isn't it rate of fire a little bit higher?
Yeah, I think it's
too?
like 800.
Yeah.
And like the Vector's in like the 700s, I think. So it shoots faster. You can have more bullets. I have it. I have not gotten a good roll on it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But now that they've taken, because the division tech problem that I was talking about last week, where I couldn't get the fucking division tech to keep rolling it, now they took that off. I'm probably that's what I'm gonna do tonight, maybe before the incursion, is try to roll a very good Vector, or I'm sorry, MP5, because those two guns are kind of the best. Oh, you know what? Now I know what my last talent is on my Vector. It's I do more damage to like elite and named enemies or something like that.
That's
So-
a good talent to have.
Yeah. I mean, for like, I wish I had a better Vector for Dark Zone though. Against human characters, my Vector does
Right.
not do great against it. And then I run a M1A marksman rifle. Unfortunately, it's not a high end. I know there's a blueprint out there for it now. With the update, I have not picked it up yet,
Right.
but I love marksman rifles. When I run in the DZ, I use a shotgun. I
Right.
use a.
I found that shotgun you
Yeah,
used last
yeah,
week,
the Marine Super 90 or something like that.
So, yeah,
I can't remember what.
MP90.
Yeah, so I use that. If I'm trying to do rogue stuff, I'll use a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the marksman rifle works very well too. My build is now when I'm playing with, I have different builds for solo and
Right.
with the team. When I do solo DZ, I try to get my health up as high as possible, and my DPS. Those are the two things. And I think like I run with like 150, like 160 DPS and like almost 80,000 health, and then my skill power is pretty crap. When I run with my team, I run a more balanced build I have 131 DPS, 70 health, and 131 electronic skills. So I'm I'm the balanced build. My brother's the skill guy. My other guy's the tank. So you got to run a different role. I'm more the
I've
balanced.
been rolling like medic roll.
You're the more medic role, so that's like health and electronic skills.
right.
My brother runs
Which I feel like that's a good role for me since like
and I can never say this gun right. The Caduceus. All right, well that's the gun that it's a high-end named gun that when you shoot you get headshots. When you get critical hits or when you get headshots, it increases your skill regeneration by like 2% or something. But he uses the Seeker Mine that does the air burst, so it'll go and it'll release flames.
right.
Flames count as headshots.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that. So he's basically has nonstop.
They didn't fix that. In
They
the
might
update?
have. Like I said, we haven't played together.
Right.
We always play together on Wednesday nights, so we'll
Right.
find out tonight.
Right.
I don't know if I didn't read anything about them changing that, but So he's our guy that when we're playing the challenge missions and we're getting rushed by shotgunners, he just throws a seeker mine and they all catch on fire, and then I pulse them and we kill them.
Right.
That's kind of like our method right now. That's kind of how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I run pulse and ammo station, and then like survivor link. Those are the, but that's kind of what we run. Then my brother's like the skill guy, where he's just he doesn't have like his DPS is not good,
Right.
but he throws almost nonstop seeker mines, and and that's what stops the shotgunners from, because that's like the biggest issue is the chargers with the shotguns, that they just charge right at you and they can kill you in like 2 shots, 1 shot.
Yeah.
So he throws that seeker mine down and they catch fire, and they're like, they're trying to put out the fire. I'll pulse them because like with 131 skill power, it gives us like 33 extra critical hit chance and 75% extra critical hit damage. So then we drop them pretty fast. That's kind of been and then like I have the ammo station now, which I think like from what I hear in the incursion, you kind of want everyone to have like some form of first aid, and then like whatever else your power is going to be.
Right.
But I run that ammo cache when I'm running challenge mode. When I'm in the dark zone, I run the first aid overdose, where it like over heals you, and I still run pulse. That's still like.
Yeah.
My favorite move.
Pulse is a pretty good skill.
I mean, just because like my build is basically all built off critical hit damage and critical hit chance, because that's how I built my guy. Like I have an insane. I don't remember what my percentage is. I think it caps out though at like at least one of the guys. I don't know what it caps out at, but even without the pulse, I'm at like almost 60% critical hit chance and I'm like 100. I can't remember what it is damage wise. But that's how I built my guy. So the pulse all my shots are critical hits then. And then I have the vector that I get healed when I hit critical hits, and then my critical hit damage is increased with it. So
yeah,
that's how I built my guy, is all critical hits.
Yeah. Our last question that we're going to answer, Rick asks, what are your tips for the dark zone?
Run with other people.
Yeah, that's true. Don't go in there by yourself.
Run with I mean... I don't know what they're asking. Like, are you asking for tips for picking up gear or leveling up? Because like I said, I have a run that you enter from the left side of the lower left side of Zone 2. It's like West 34th Street. You enter right there. You go down into the subway. You run through the subway. You pop out. I'm trying to think. Then you're in Zone 1. You just kind of take a right. You go straight. You cut back up through the... I don't know how to explain that part. That part you have to see because there's no name. Somehow you get back to the where the Division Tech is, Division Tech, the warehouse in Zone 2. Then you go to the library and the sports store, and then you extract. That's kind of the run that we were doing. For when you're running into other agents is when things I think is what more people want to know.
Right.
I don't really have good advice on that because I have I've been very successful against certain people, and then there's other guys who just destroy the shit out of me, and I don't know why.
Right.
I was playing the other night for example, the one night that me, my brother, and Patrick, we actually ended up running it, but before we did, there was a group of 4 that were in there, and even though there was 4 of them, there was only one guy, and Sam Workman, I still remember the guy's name, just kept killing us. Over and like we would pulse him, we would hit our supers, and like literally no damage was coming off of this guy.
Right.
So
he had some insane
I think armor is a very overlooked thing in this game. You really want my armor right now. I mitigate 59%. I know that caps I think 65.
Right.
So I almost my armor is very high up. If you're running solo, like I said, put your health up. First and foremost, if you want to go solo in the Dark Zone, I say go health, and then pick skill or DPS. When you're running with a team, then you can play off of it. But, I've seen so many different builds in there. I've seen an all-electronic sticky bomb builds. I've seen guys who are they're glass cannons. And then I've seen guys like the guys playing the other night where we could not do any damage to this guy, but yet they still were able to kill us in a couple shots. So I don't know what I wish they showed you their stats when they killed you.
Right.
Not their gear, but
Right.
just like there's
Yeah.
what is your DPS and your health and your electronics? I'm just curious.
Right.
With the gear score, that's kind of helpful, I guess, but not really.
Not really. It's not.
I would like to see.
Because you could be rolling a gear score really high, but do no DPS, or like you could have really high health.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would like to see, and I don't know why they don't do that. Like, it's not. You don't need to show me like what their firearms rating is. Just show me what your. I just want to know what your DPS and your health and your skill
Right.
power is. Like what? Then that helps other people too.
Right.
Because I'm not an expert in the Dark Zone.
Right.
Like it seems like it's a wash. Like sometimes I will just obliterate people, and then I'll run into people like that. And I think
Yeah.
I think armor, like I said, armor is a very overlooked skill.
Right.
It's very important to have high armor, and you must have high health. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to who has their super. I keep calling it super. I know that's not what they are, but
Yeah. The L1 R1 skill.
yeah. I mean, it comes down to that because
Radiance.
no, nobody has Radiance. Thank goodness. But no one uses it. I mean, everyone's going to use Survivor Link. That's pretty much the big one. That's the
Yeah.
one where it's the blue one. It like gives you 80% reduction in damage taken in or something like that.
Yeah.
And you move faster and stuff.
See, like, because like I'm rolling a medic, so like the one I've been using is like it heals everybody.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you're gonna run solo in the Dark Zone, that's like I highly recommend not using that one. That's probably like the least likely to use. You definitely want to go Survivor or Tactical. Definitely Survivor if you're solo. That's the only choice if you're running by yourself. It's Tactical.
Right.
So, and if you see 3 agents coming, they're gonna kill you.
It's true. It's true.
Sad.
I mean, I've seen like videos of guys who are like taking on like 4 or 5 guys, and I've built classes like similar to theirs, and it just doesn't seem to work for me.
Yeah, like that video where they like all these guys were standing around the extraction zone. And the guy threw like the sticky bomb in the middle.
He threw a grenade and then he shot a sticky bomb and it killed all of them, which is very possible with the right talents. Talents are another thing. Again, I run 2 different, like the class that you were just talking about right now.
Right.
The sticky bomb one. If you want to make a sticky bomb one, then you need to have the one where when you hit more enemies or you hit multiple enemies, it does 40% more damage. You need shrapnel, which is if you apply bleed, it has like a chance to affect everyone. That you need to have that one because I think sticky bombs have a chance to do that. And then there's another like exploding one where like all of your if you kill someone with an explosion, then like your explosives do 40% more damage or something like that.
Right.
For like 15 seconds. So that guy had like your talents need to go off of your skill, your build. So like if you want to be a medic, you're gonna have literally all like when you revive me, we're both gonna take reduced damage, stuff like that. When you heal a human player, all skill cooldowns go down.
Right.
Because that works for both of us. Like I'm pretty sure even if you heal me or like you're using a healing station and you have that talent on, I think both of our skill cooldowns go down. So like talents are very important too. But this unfortunately I've not mastered the Dark Zone.
It's surprising because the game's been out for what 3 weeks now.
It's very frustrating. I don't know. It's frustrating to me because like most games I can go in and
you
like,
master it within like a week.
and I cannot figure out how I'm getting. Like in the Dark Zone, like when I'm getting destroyed like that, I can't figure it out.
Cheating.
No, I don't think because that's not a big issue in. I wish I could sit here and be like, oh, they're
not
cheaters.
in the console
No,
version.
But not in the
PC version, yeah.
the PC. There's a lot of that going on, and they said that they're gonna. But like that's not the.
They're gonna permanently ban
I
anyone
honestly
who's
don't.
cheating.
I haven't figured out like. I don't know, and it's very frustrating because usually I can come in and be like, well, this is how you need to build them to be
Right.
like the most dominant player, and I don't know what it is.
Maybe that's the balance. Like there is no
Well,
build that's going to dominate the Dark Zone.
it's kind of like rock paper scissors,
Right.
But like and that's why you need to run with a team so that you can cover the different builds because you'll
Right.
have. That's basically what it is, because you're gonna have. If you see a team of 4 coming, they're most likely gonna have a tank, somebody over 100,000 DPS. They might be running a ballistic shield that can give them an extra like 400,000. The shield will have like 400,000 DPS
Right.
or like health.
Yeah.
And he's basically just going to run at you, and you're going to shoot at that guy. Then you're going to have a glass cannon. I know guys can get up over 200 DPS, but their health is going to be like in the 30s.
Right.
but they're going to drop you so fast, but you're going to be shooting at the tank. That's like the perfect team setup.
Right.
And we don't have that yet.
Right.
For Dark Zone, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
We have a pretty good team for like challenge and incursions, but
Yeah.
we haven't really figured out the Dark Zone the best way. Because, we did survive a manhunt the other night, though.
Yeah.
So that was, we're getting there. We're starting to figure it out. That balance build I was telling you about that I run with them has been the most successful for me. Because really, skill power, you don't need to, like when you get around 35,000 skill power, you're pretty much maxing out what you really don't need to go higher than that.
Right.
You don't need to try to get it to 40 and 50. Like, I think if you get it around 35, you're pretty much doing enough, with even sticky bombs and stuff like that. So
Right. It's there's like almost an overwhelming amount of information if you're not playing this game consistently.
Well, I think these gear sets are really going to help with like
Right.
those issues. Because right now it's like, okay, this is the kind of guy I want to be, but like getting the gear was kind of annoying to try to like build that guy. And then you have the re-rolling, which is easier now.
Right.
So now it's easier now to build the kind of class that you
Something I
want.
wish they'd add back to Destiny.
Versus what it was before the update. Because before it was like all trying to like go out and buy the blueprints and then all that stuff to try to make this person. But
Right.
my main tip is just run with other people. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I always do better when I'm with other people. Not only will it
that's how this game's meant to be played anyway.
It'll intimidate other people enough, but we like to go. We like to go around now and go and actually attack other people. Before we were just trying to level up. We do actually like to attack other people, but I've seen some very interesting strategies in there that are, like the turret that does the shocking.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought to use that, but I played against some guys, and they were using that, and that was pretty effective on us because you're stuck there, you can't move, and even when after the shock, after you can finally move, you can't use your skills right away.
Right. So
you can't heal and stuff. So that's stuff like that. You really have to play around. There's so many options.
Right. Right. I don't know. I am going to play the incursion. I don't know. I'm, like we said earlier, I just was going in expecting something different. And like you said you were. And I don't know. I need to play a little bit more, I think. And I definitely enjoy playing it more with people than by myself, for sure. But
I don't mind matchmaking the dailies and stuff. I don't know what matchmaking, like I said, the incursion I thought was going to be oh, you're not going to be able to matchmake it.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you probably can easily here, especially now that people have been playing it and stuff. The matchmaking's pretty good in the game, so I can't complain about that. But Dark Zone, you have to. It's a numbers game.
Right. Right.
That's all it is.
Right. Well, you guys want to touch on anything else? No? No?
Dark Souls 3 is awesome.
I think walking out of this podcast, Dark Souls 3 sounds like the most if I was watching this, I'd be like,
it sounds like
I
Dark
think
Souls
I just
3
want to play Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in the other two.
Yeah.
Division's
Well,
so grindy.
If you don't
It
have,
just doesn't
if
seem
you don't
worth
have
it.
Destiny or the Division, I could see you might want to play any of them. But
Yeah,
if you
but
have Destiny, and
Here's the
Division,
thing with the Destiny specifically is if you haven't been playing by now,
none of the new stuff is.
why would you jump in now? Why wouldn't you wait till the update?
I don't think
the expansion.
This update from Destiny wasn't to pick up new people.
Right.
It was to bring. It was to try to bring back the people. Who
Right. That's what I'm trying
I
to say.
stopped playing, and
Yeah.
I thought, this Division update was going to come out and it was going to be amazing. And I think it made things almost worse than they were before.
I wonder if Bungie's going to change their DLC plan after this, seeing how they've lost so many people.
I don't know. I think they need to wait it out and see because the
fall
the
update.
Division update wasn't anything oh my goodness, they're going to blow Destiny. Nobody's going to play Destiny now because the Division update was so amazing.
Which mediocre update was best?
That's almost what this conversation is right now.
I know.
They are both very.
Yeah.
Which one was better? And I haven't played the Destiny one.
Let's play the incursion and
I
find
think
out.
next week we're gonna answer. We'll answer because we'll have a lot more time.
So tune in next time. To
Tune
find
in
out.
next time to see which crappy update was
That's good
better than
writing.
the other
Leave it on a
crappy
cliffhanger.
update.
I don't know. I enjoyed the Destiny update for what it was, but like I'm glad it didn't cost me money. Let's be honest here.
Well, I think if they're going to try to get money out of someone, they're definitely going to try to give you more than just refreshing old content. Like
Right. Well, they already said the next expansion is going to be bigger than the Taken King, and they're reevaluating their DLC plans for the future.
If they come out with a raid, I'm back.
Yeah.
well, they're going to.
Well, they're going to.
You know that.
I know, but I'm saying that's when I'm like,
Based
I'm
on the
coming
way-
back.
Right.
I want a raid.
I'm just
you know.
saying they can't come out with a giant content update and then let it go stale with nothing added in after.
Like this one.
Like what they did. That's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
like
Taken King.
they promised us these cool events that were going to be like fun to do, and none of
Sparrow Racing was awesome.
them were fun.
The couples thing, the
The
Crimson.
Crimson Roses.
Yeah, and the festival of whatever was
Yeah, none of that was fun. It was like just random like stuff they added in that was like okay.
like I would have been fine with another House of Wolves type
Right.
small
I think
expansion
that's
for
what
$15.
we kind of people were hoping, but it didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Like a new set of strikes, like a whole set of strikes, not like as fun as like the Blighted Child strike is and the Archon Priest coming back with Taken stuff, like if they were said, okay, here's the expansion, we're gonna give you like 5 new strikes, 4 new quest lines on this big new like section of the story, and that's like $15 or $20, and we'll add a raid. Like that's the expansion. Like that should be the expansion. I don't know. Anyways,
I want that Cabal raid. Just give me that.
I feel like we all sound so disappointed this show because except for Joey.
Joey was very cheerful.
Joey's the one that was not disappointed.
Not at all. If anything, I'm more impressed than like what I was expecting.
I think that's the takeaway.
Yeah.
You know, Dark Souls 3 is probably better than what people thought. And
Yeah.
the Division update, I think, was a lot.
Don't get me wrong. I think Destiny's update is better than everybody thought it was going to be, but it's not like...
I think Destiny's just middle of the road.
It's still
I think
mediocre.
The Division was a little disappointing, and I think Dark Souls 3 is giving him a Woody over there.
It is better than the Dark Below expansion.
And then maybe I'll find out about Ratchet and Clank sometime soon.
Yeah.
Maybe
We should all buy Ratchet and Clank and be happy next week.
Next week I'll probably come in. I couldn't beat the boss. I'm stuck at the last boss.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Can't do anything about it. It just keeps killing me.
For real.
Yeah, I think it's time to go check it out, though. I'm gonna go check out the incursion here.
Yeah, for real. But anyways, we're gonna wrap the show up. Thank you so much for watching or listening to the DNA podcast. Remember, you can find a new episode every Thursday on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. You can find all of our content on digitalnerdadvocates.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, join our community page, and until next week, we're out.